After leaving MasterChef last year, I've continued to create unique and delicious desserts, and today I'm going to show you how to prepare one of my favorites, the not so typical lemon meringue. I've recently fulfilled a dream of mine and opened up my own dessert bar, Koi, and I'm hoping to put this one on the menu. Now, like with any good desserts, you gotta make sure all your measurements with your ingredients are exact. So we're first gonna start out with the brown butter based crumble. Got some almond meal, 200 grams, some sugar, 200 grams as well, and some flour, 100 grams. And in here, I've got a pot full of butter that I've browned, and what we're gonna do is just whisk it in. So the butter here is taken to the point where it's almost burnt. It's very nutty, and that's about right. And the next thing I'm gonna do is lay it out in a baking tray and bake it in the oven, 170 degrees for 15 minutes. So the next step is the lemon curd, and the first thing we're gonna do is bloom the gelatin. We've gotta soften these guys, and that's gonna be the stabilizer to hold our curd together. And all you need is a bit of cold water, snap it in there, and wait till it softens. Next up, we're gonna juice these lemons. We're gonna need 100 mils of juice. So I've got the butter and the juice in the saucepan, and what we're gonna do is put this on a low heat, and I'm gonna melt the butter and the lemon juice together until it comes to a simmer. So while this is melting, we're gonna crack 4 eggs into a bowl, and we're gonna add in 100 grams of sugar as well. So we're gonna combine the hot butter and the lemon juice into this egg mixture. And make sure that you keep stirring this while the mixture is hot as well. You don't wanna scramble the eggs. Next step, what we're gonna do is gonna fill this up with a bit of water, bring it up to the boil, and then we're gonna cook this over the hot water. So it's kind of looking pretty good. It's nice and golden, smells good as well. It's all crumbly in my hands now, but when it gets cooled down later on for the base, it will start to set. So my curd's all thickened up, and the next thing we're gonna do is add this softened gelatin. Next, we're gonna make the balsamic reduction gel. You'll need 150 grams of reduced balsamic vinegar. Dilute the balsamic mixture with water and sugar in a small saucepan, and then into the mix, whisk in the agar. Cook the mixture over high heat and boil for about 10 seconds. Next thing I'm gonna do is just put into another bowl. I'm gonna set that into the fridge. This will set really quickly, probably about 5 minutes. So I've got my crumble mixture already cooled down, and what we're gonna do is just put it all together. And here I've got cookie cutters. So I'm gonna put the cookie cutter here, and what we're gonna do is just press it down nice and firm. You're gonna make sure everything is all pushed down properly and it's really packed. And then what we're gonna do is pour the lemon curd over it and put it into the freezer to set. Next thing we're gonna do is start off the balsamic meringue. You're gonna need 100 grams of egg whites, 200 grams of caster sugar, and 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. So it's looking pretty good at this stage. Everything is holding its shape. And to know it's a good meringue, you can see that little beak. So now our balsamic reduction gel is actually all set like a jelly. You can see that now. It's actually come off together all in one piece. The next step we need to do now is cut it up and put into this little jug and hand blend it until it becomes a fluid gel. To assemble, unmold the lemon meringue tart from the ring and dust generously with icing sugar onto the plate. Then blowtorch the top until caramelized. Decorate the plate as you like. I'm gonna pipe the meringue dollops around the tart. Next to the meringue, I'm gonna pipe the little balsamic gels, and then I'm gonna put chunks of the mandarin pieces. Here I've got some lemon jam that I've made at home. You can substitute the jam with any marmalade at the store, or you can make some of your own. Finally, we're gonna garnish them with some edible flowers and some micro mint. There you have it, my not so typical lemon meringue, ready to impress my guests. Speaking of, I better get cracking.
Reynolds, what is the dish?
So this is, of course, the first chapter of Alice in Wonderland, Down the Rabbit Hole. It's a caramelized white chocolate diplomat with pistachio sponge, matcha crumble, dark chocolate, and a vanilla caramel with lime yogurt. Ready?
Yeah, do your sauce.
We're ready.
I've got my hot caramel. It needs to be hot enough to melt through that chocolate and give that rabbit hole effect. I'm looking down at my plate, I'm looking at the judges, I'm looking back at my plate, and I'm just thinking to myself, please, it needs to melt it.
there it is.
There's the rabbit hole.
My dish is there, right there. It's down the rabbit hole. I'm just really stoked that I pulled this off.
Well, as per your usual specifications, it is beautiful to look at. However, let's hope it tastes the same.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thank you. I mean, wow, look at that. We asked for fairy tale, and if that's not fairy tale in a bowl, my goodness. I mean, it just looks so magical.
When I saw Reynolds' reaction when the challenge was announced, I knew that we were in for something special. That is special.
Yeah, I don't even want to break this,
no.
but
I know, it's so
It's criminal.
beautiful.
I'm gonna have to. All right, we're on.
Thank you.
I mean, even the twigs are brushed in gold dust.
Right. From the top, theatre, big tick for me. Like, really got the idea of the challenge. But actually going into the dessert, the diplomat is so rich. The dark chocolate's got that bitter edge to it. The yogurt snow's got the acidity, and the caramel sauce is just rich in an edge of saltiness. It's hard to fault as an overall dish.
Look, I think he's a legend, like flat out legend for doing that in 75 minutes. I appreciate the thought process that happened in no time at all. Hey, here's your challenge. It's fairy tale land, go for it. And then he just drops that bombshell. He's on another level in terms of concept and then a final dish. It's crazy. That would normally take so long to develop. It just blows my mind.
Did you like it?
I loved it. I loved it.
I think the word right there is bombshell. This is a bombshell dish on every single level. I mean, if there was ever a plate of food that has come through this kitchen this season that says, I am back to win, it's this dish.
Reynolds.
I'm really proud of my dish, but I just hope that it tastes just as amazing as much as it looks. I've tasted every little bit of component, but not together. So it is still a bit of a risk.
Can you finish the dish for us, Reynolds, please?
Yep.
Wow.
Oh, mate, that looks unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm really happy with this. I'd say it's one of the most beautiful dishes that I've ever made to date. And in the MasterChef kitchen, to actually pull this off, I'm really, really happy. I've been saving this one in the bank for a long time.
Talk me through it, mate. I want to know what it is.
So this is the snitch. Inside is a brown butter mousse with a tonka bean caramel coated with chocolate. On the outside is a ganache holding the honey tulle feathers with a pear yuzu sorbet and yogurt snow.
Let's taste it.
Cool, thank you. Enjoy.
Thanks, Reynolds.
I think this Stitch dessert looks absolutely incredible. I mean, it's magic, right? Absolutely magical.
Oh my God, look at that.
Stop it.
There you go. What I think is incredible is that these wings aren't just flat out of the mold. They're twisted and manipulated so that they
And
look like the wings
crunchy.
in flight and crunchy. Gosh, it's almost a shame to break it.
It's special when Reynolds gets up here and he's beaming. He's beaming for a reason, because to pull that off in here, that's next level. Absolutely next level. The really bright sorbet of the yuzu and the pear fills your mouth straight away. But then I was just like searching for that tonka bean brown butter caramel, because that's just what sort of coats your mouth and makes you want to go, hang on, I want to go back for yuzu. So I think it's just, I mean, technically, we don't even need to talk about it, but it is the hardest of hardest when we talk about technique in this very kitchen. He's absolutely nailed it.
This dish is a game changer. It is technical, those beautiful honey twill feathers that I loved the way they sort of bent as if they were in mid-flight. And then just everything inside the ball itself, you know, the tonka bean caramel, that brown butter mousse, you know, everything worked in terms of richness, refreshment. It's triumphant. This is exactly what we live for.
It's absolutely inspired cooking. A1, first class, you know, presentation. But I've got to say, flavour, texture, balance, everything is also A1. It's first class. I agree with him. It's the best dish he's ever made.